Okay, I've been thinking a lot lately about how to automate flow creation with ZeroWork. So, ZeroWork obviously lets you automate repetitive tasks like sending out messages on LinkedIn. But creating one of these automations takes hours, sometimes even days. So, take a look at this LinkedIn automation. It's basically just looking for leads, visiting the profiles, sending a connection request, and handling all the error cases that might occur, and then send messages and click on the right button, and so on. And honestly, this has taken me at least a day or two to build, and it's not even finished, right? And though, so that brings the question: why do we do that with zero work? While, for example, N8N allows you to import flows as JSON files, right? So in N8N, what you can do is you can simply go to your ChatGPT, explain the use case that you want to have, and then ChatGPT can give you a code. You simply go to N8N, you upload the JSON, and then you have the automation. Of course, it's not 100% accurate, but you have saved 80% of the time, okay? 80% of the time that is really only dragging and dropping blocks and then inputting variables and so on. Sorry, not variables, selectors, I mean. And this is really empty work. You have to say it as it is. And people are aware of that. People want to have some kind of AI automation to not only run the flows, but to create the flows. But it doesn't make, because it doesn't make sense to create a flow for 2 days that then saves 15 minutes. Of course, it makes sense, but let's just say it as it is. It's much more user friendly if I can go to an AI, explain my use case, get the code, and then simply input it. Okay, but ZeroWork doesn't even have an import or export feature. Not even speaking about JSON formatting and so on. So I have tried all the ins and outs. I went to ChatGPT and I gave it the entire documentation of ZeroWork. You can see here, I even have a project that is entirely dedicated to ZeroWork with all the um, files and online documentation and so on. And it just doesn't work. I try to let it run me through the creation and so on, but it takes just hours. So I came up with two possible solutions to our problem, and this is what they look like. So to give you an example, let's say we want to go to LinkedIn and automate simple message request. Okay, open this profile, click this button, click the connect button, click add a message, and then type in a message. All right, that's what we want to do. So what I did is I went to ChatGPT, I looked up all the selectors and so on that I found, and then I explained the task that I want to do. I got back this code, went to ZeroWork, put in the code, and bada bing, bada bam, just watch what happens. To make it short, it works, okay? I have the script here. Let's close all of this down. Whoops, this was the window. So it opens up the page. Next, it clicks the button, clicks the other button, puts in the text. Perfect. Just exactly what we want. So basically, we have already automated ZeroWork. Um, While doing that, I thought about a different option. Let me show you what that could look like. It's, I don't know why. I mean, I just came across the other idea, right? I don't know which idea to use for which use case, but this one is code heavy. This one is basically no code. Um, so the idea is to open the link, start the automation, open the link, and then we have a sheet just like this one with multiple steps. with a defined action and with a selector. And then what happens in the automation is simply we start the repeat, going over all of these rows. We start with the first row, and then we check what condition is filled. Is it a click, an input, or a save? Do we want to click something, input something, or save some information? In this case, it's a click, right? So condition is met, and then we click the web element by defining the variable here. I didn't set this up correctly, like entirely, but I think you get the idea, right? After we clicked here, we go back to the next rows, and then it starts with the next row. Step 2, click, and this is the selector, and so on. And then at the end, we should have run through the entire automation. And I think this this automation, why is it useful? Because we can use a sheet like this to have an AI map out the entire action steps, right? So just go to ChatGPT, we give it all the CSS selectors it needs, and then it simply fills out this here. And don't get me wrong, this is not an agent or something. This cannot decide yet if it did an error or not. It doesn't handle any errors. But this can potentially significantly improve your ZeroWork.io development time. And I'm happy to, I don't know, discuss about that, because maybe we can maybe we can even duplicate these JavaScript fields, and then instead of putting a code in here, we can use variables. All right, and then the variables can be filled by an AI, and that could look similar to this one, right? Um, in that case, we would only have steps here, and then we have the code inside here, and any AI can go inside, like let's say N8N can go inside. We tell it what we want, and then it fills out the steps right here with the correct JavaScript code here. And this way, we only chain JavaScript to each other and then have the JavaScript code run our actions. Okay, yeah, this is how far I got. I'm still experimenting with that. And yeah, just again, the use case for this is not to have an independent AI agent running your browser. It's just an AI helper that can help you create a flow. This flow doesn't give any feedback to the AI so that the AI can self-improve. That's not this stage. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your feedback and your comments. I'm looking forward. Talk soon.